Welcome to The Ugly Truth. This is Jamie.
And I'm Tyler. I don't know. I need to work on that.
That's all right. So 'tis the season of the scourge, and Stephanie is out with not COVID, thank goodness, but she is sick. And since producer Dub is traveling, the last thing we wanted to do is expose him to any kind of bacterial, viral garbage. So
she doesn't want to be a carrier.
No. So Tyler said that he would sit in for me today.
Yeah.
And that's all right, because I have a small beef with Tyler, and I want to discuss it today.
Oh, no.
So we're going to discuss.
I was going to say I'm a minute man.
No. So Tyler is crashing with us while he saves up money to buy a palatial home.
Why do you have to admit that? On air, to your audience.
Because...
a 32-year-old loser who lives with their parents.
No, there's goals. We have goals. And listen, in this day and age in this country... yeah, this is not an unusual situation. Kids come home, save up money to buy their own slice of California, or anywhere. Actually,
I don't know if I could move out of California.
I don't want you
because I wouldn't come back. I wouldn't come back. You can't come back because it's so expensive to live here.
You'll just have to move back in with your mommy.
Yeah,
it's temporary. I don't hate you being here. Obviously, I love it. If I could have all of my children home,
why are you bringing this?
Saving up their money to have their own. We'd buy a property with a commune so we could wave at each other in the morning.
This is your Little House on the Prairie fantasy.
Everybody lives on the same 40 acres. We just get on our little golf carts and drive to each other's houses. Isn't that every mom's fantasy, is to have their kids close by so that we can all just see each other all the time?
I don't know. I've never consulted with any other
mothers,
matriarchs.
Well, anyway, so with that all being said, I struggle with insomnia. I've always struggled with insomnia. This is nothing new. I've had it since I was a child. It comes and goes depending on my stress levels, etc. But generally speaking, I just have insomnia. I assume it's trauma.
Well, I mean, I don't know, maybe.
But anyway, although all of my siblings have insomnia, and now all of my kids have insomnia as well. So it's not surprising.
It's not severe, but it ebbs and flows.
It does, exactly. So anyway, my point is the other night, for about the last week and a half, I've been struggling with insomnia a little bit. But the other night, I was really, really, really tired. And I'm like, I'm going to get a good night's sleep tonight. Okay. I've, gotten off of all of the social media, TV's off. I'm just going to relax.
Yeah.
And producer Dub starts snoring. Oh, no. Badly. And I'm like, ugh. So the way it works is...
Did you send him to the couch?
No,
Get out of here.
I usually nudge him, or I move his pillow, or do different things,
Yeah.
And then someone came home really tired from work and did not close their bedroom door. And when I tell you the sounds that were coming out of your room, Tyler, you and your dad have successfully kept me awake till 3 a.m.
No, I was really snoring that
It was
loud.
like the dueling fiddles, the dueling banjos.
I thought you were going into a completely different direction with this. I was really that loud?
The dueling banjos, and I'm like, what is happening? I was like, do I go in there? Do I kick him? What do I do? I didn't know what to do. The two of you...
I don't know what it is. I don't know. We can't help it. I mean,
it was unbelievable.
That's always been a point of contention. In my previous relationships, you're
a snorer.
I would snore, and then they would get irritated and frustrated with me, and I just don't understand it because I can't help it. It's not like I'm consciously making the decision, you know what, this feels comfortable. How does snoring feel comfortable? I always wake up with a dry mouth. My sinuses are all inflamed.
Exactly.
And then the cure for it though is even worse because you have to get the machine that goes up on your face, and then that's a little bit louder than a little bit of a snore.
I don't think you need the sleep apnea machine. Or producer Dub for that matter. I don't think you guys need that, but I was laying there at 1:30
But you're a light sleeper, so
3 a.m. in the morning, and I went, you know what? I'm going to buy Breathe Right strips and see if that doesn't doesn't help because it's about...
I'm willing to try it.
The nasal congestion. That's really what it is.
I'm willing
now,
to try
I will say this. When you close your door, I rarely hear anything. Like, it's so quiet.
You don't hear me cackling?
No, I hear that.
Okay.
But that's in the morning when you wake up.
Yeah.
But I've never heard you weeping in the night. I've never heard anything like that. But when you don't shut your bedroom door, which you used to do all the time, but now you finally have closed it most of the time.
Yeah, I have my boy who wants to come in and out as he pleases.
Of course. Now that you have your cat in house, you keep it shut at night, which is fine. It doesn't matter to me.
You're really painting me in a bad light on this show. I'm a 32-year-old loser who lives with his parents that snores so loud that my parents can hear it from the other room.
Okay, well, let me put it this way. If you really were a loser, I would never talk about this on the show. Like, never. This would not be... I'd be like, don't talk about it.
Oh,
we don't talk about Tyler. No, nothing like that.
No, I'm just being disparaging towards myself for the sake of comedy.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just wanted to let you know that you are a snorer. But hopefully Breathe Right Strips hears our plea and they will send me a year supply. And I will.
I'm really curious to try it.
To you.
I've never tried it before.
Seriously, I'm going to see if that works.
Yeah.
Because of course last night, once again,
that was the breaking point.
Yeah, once again, producer Dub snored from the second he. Okay, and this is what was really funny is he was barely sleeping. Like we were still watching Saturday Night Live, and he had dozed off.
Who was hosting last night?
Sweeney, Cynthia Sweeney.
Cynthia Sweeney.
Yeah, from Euphoria, and she was in the No One Saw Madam Web.
Anyway. Yes.
Cynthia Sweeney? No, what's her name?
I don't have
Savannah Sweeney.
I don't have my phone on me. I can't look it up. But it's an interesting thing about Madam Web is it's been selling out like hotcakes.
I know
because it's so bad.
It's so bad. People are watching it to laugh at it.
And I watched a TikTok of a guy who went to the theater and was filming I would assume the ending. And,
Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, Cindy Sweeney.
Sydney.
Yes,
go ahead. So he was in a theater watching the ending?
He was in the theater. He wasn't filming. Well, he was filming the screen, but it was more so the focal point of everyone just dying of laughter. And I gotta admit, I laughed too at that scene.
Somebody basically equated Madam Web to the Door. What was that movie?
With Tommy Wiseau?
Yes. They're saying it's so bad that they are you almost wonder if it was purposeful. I know that I know his movie wasn't meant to be bad.
Yeah.
I don't think any movie is, they don't go out of their way. But
there's an argument to be said there, though. So it's in different categories. So with The Room, for instance.
The Room, not the Door. What am I, 100?
The Room, Tommy Wiseau, he funded the whole movie. Mm-hmm. He funded the whole movie, and it only became so bad that it's good because it's such a cultural thing with Madam Web.
It's just bad.
Who did it? It was Sony Pictures or Warner Brothers. It was one of those two companies who did it, and that was more so of a corporate. Yeah,
it wasn't an indie film at all.
But with Tommy Wiseau,
independent.
Well, and he started leaning into it, whereas the star of Madam Web was just Jesus
offended.
Christ, what did I do?
Well, I think that can be said about Jennifer Lopez, who funded her own Swan Song for $20 million.
What? Wait, that it was called Swan Song?
No. Oh. This was her passion project, and she funded it all herself. Mm-hmm. And she asked a host of celebs to participate, and there is now a released behind-the-scenes documentary of her working on it.
What movie?
I think it's called "This Is Me" now, or something like that.
Is it a new movie, or was it?
It's like an hour long. And it's just unhinged.
And she was a director and writer.
Main star, everything. Everybody who saw it was like, I don't even know what I just saw. I don't even know what it is. But basically, it was
has such a high ego, too.
Well, I think that's kind of the point of the panning of this film, or if you want to call it a film, is that
it is. It's considered by the Academy. The
behind the scenes is there's a scene, and I can only assume this was released. Maybe she's leaning into it too at this point, unsure. Okay. But there's a scene of her being told by one of her assistants of all the celebrities who rejected her request to have a cameo in her film. And there's some pretty big names, including Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift's not even an actor.
People that, she was in Cats. Oh, so, she seems to like bad movies. So maybe...
Yeah.
Maybe she would have thought about it. Anyway, if she had known it was going to be so terrible, maybe she would have gotten in it. I don't know.
Well, apparently in regards of Madam Web, that the film that was shot was heavily edited, and so it wasn't it
was over-edited?
Yeah. Well, it just they just made some weird choices and made some weird rewrites. So that's where it was the problem, but it's like Morbius. Everyone Morbius on page is a bad movie, right.
but because now it went so bad,
but it went viral, so everyone watched it and made memes of it. And I wanna know if it's like a calculated sort of thing.
Well, I think after a while, I think they do lean into it. They go, well, we're gonna make our money, we might as well lean into it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think that's kind of the thing with the J-Lo thing. I think releasing that behind the scenes documentary was like the cherry on top. Right. Of how overinflated everything was. Anyway, my point was I was watching Sydney Sweeney on SNL, and mostly because Casey Musgraves was the artist, and she has a new album.
Never heard of her.
What?
No, haven't.
What? Are you gaslighting me right now?
How is that a gaslight? I just said I've never heard of her.
Casey Musgraves?
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I'll have to check her out.
She's a new up and comer.
Okay, yeah.
She's not Tyler.
I think the
she's one.
Okay.
Okay. Wow. I'm speechless. You are way out of touch.
The newest.
What are you doing? What is happening with you?
The newest artist that I have listened to is Olivia Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. Yeah. Oh God.
I like her. She's
fine.
Yeah, she's cool.
She's going through her goth phase with Vampire.
Yeah, maybe that's why I gravitated.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, you would like Casey Musgrave's new work, and I'll have you listen to it when we're done with this show because I feel like I failed you as a parent.
What?
By not
I'll check it out. I'll check it out on my own accord.
Stuff. God, I mean, seriously, I feel like I failed you.
How is that?
Constantly trying to feed you the new up and coming
now I feel like you're gaslighting me.
Well, I probably am. Anyway, I'm watching it. And he starts snoring. And so and
you're like eyes are like halfway closed.
No, I'm awake and I'm just laying there trying to enjoy the show and all I hear is snoring. And so I put my hand under his pillow and I nudge his head. And he looks up.
I thought you were going to say you were going to put the pillow over his head.
No. And he lifted his head and he looked over at me. He's like, "Did you just nudge my head?" And I said, "I did." And he goes, "Why?" And I said, "Because you're snoring." He goes, "I'm not even asleep." And I'm like, "Then why are you snoring?"
That's his breathing pattern now.
I can't believe I was snoring. And I'm like, I can't believe it either, but here we are. So anyway, this happened all night. Then I woke up this morning pretty much in a bad mood, but here's the problem is I'm fully aware that this is not his fault. Like, it's not like he's actively going, you know what? I'm going to snore all night.
Yeah, but
because I feel like it.
People get grumpy if they don't have a good night's of rest. So
for sure, but But what I'm saying is that I do not hold it against him. I'm not going to punch him with a closed fist, in the night.
Take a swing at him.
I'm not going to do that. But is what it is. Yeah. So it makes it difficult because it's one of those things. It's kind of like getting mad at a baby because it's like you can't help it. There's they're babies. They don't have the ability to not be difficult.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of the same with snoring. It's like, it's not fair to be mad at somebody who's unconscious.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, but I mean,
Breathe Right strips are coming into the home, and everyone's going to try them. Me too.
Speaking of angry babies, can I plug really quick? Can I plug? I don't know if new listeners are tuning in or not, but I'm a co-host of Middle Class Film Class, and we did an episode that's going to be releasing out on this Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And we reviewed Eraserhead.
Eraserhead, the OG? Oh, okay.
Speaking of being pissed off at babies, because have you seen that movie, Eraserhead?
No. Okay. I mean, if I did, it was a long time ago.
Have you seen any David Lynch's work?
I mean, I was obsessed with Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks is good.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
I was actually dating my English teacher when I watched that.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I know. I don't recommend it. I'm just saying it happened.
Okay. All right.
I was not in high school.
You haven't seen... No, I would hope
I was
not.
an adult.
I would hope not. But you haven't seen any of his films? I would be surprised.
I have seen... what's the one? See, I can't remember names right now, but the one with Nicolas Cage.
Wild at Heart.
I saw Wild at Heart.
Dern.
Yes, with Laura Dern. That's a fucked up movie. I've seen...
you know what's funny about...
I think I've seen Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet's good with Sean Penn.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very old film.
Yeah. Well, I guess...
But it is a classic. You know what? I actually have seen quite a bit of David Lynch. But the thing that made me start watching David Lynch was definitely Twin Peaks. And then I saw Wild at Heart very soon after that.
Yeah, I saw Wild at Heart in actually a really cool setting. Oh. So, like, there's this place called the Red Museum where they host movie nights. And we all gather around in this abandoned warehouse and watch just like old obscure movies. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I watched it. And I felt like that was the perfect setting to watch a film like that. I was so
stoked.
I was so elated afterwards.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
Speaking of stuff on TV, I don't think I'm mistaken. Did you or did you not watch Avatar when you were a kid?
The Last Airbender?
Yes.
No, I hated it.
You hated it?
Yeah.
So only Mackenzie liked it?
Yeah, and every time I would come home after playing outside and she'd be watching that GD show, I would being the mean brother I was, I would
change the channel.
I would be like, "No, we're watching Cartoon Network."
Oh my goodness. Well, the live action is on Netflix and I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit.
Oh, that's a show? I thought that was a movie.
No, it's an 8-part series.
Oh, and that's good? That's nice.
I mean, I started watching the anime last night.
Oh, like the original one?
The original, just to see if it was something that I would like. First of all, the live action is pretty true to the cartoon, or I should say the anime. However, I was bored. I was so bored. It was so boring. Yeah. I'm like, this is not, the live action is so much better.
Yeah. It just didn't latch on to me. I rewatched True Detective season 1, and that is just
classic.
Yeah, well, because we both together we watched Night Country.
Yes,
Detective Night Country, and so I wanted to revisit the first one to
cleanse your palate.
Cleanse my palate, because I mean, like that show.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It's entertaining, but it's not on the same level as like season 1, and I know that you're never gonna get past like that hump of season 1, but there was some choices that could have been made differently.
I definitely thought that it was going to be really hard to critique properly because of the content material, because it was good content material. The whole point of it was very important. The problem that I found out later was, I think her name is Issa Rodriguez, was the producer director.
Yeah.
She did not want this to be a True Detective thing.
No, that was the problem. Yeah, because so there was a bunch of rewrites to make it more
longer,
grounded and longer. Yeah.
She wanted 4 episodes, and they said no. This is a series. It has to be at least 6. And she's like, I'll try to find a way. So it definitely felt like filler. Yeah. So she's doing the next season again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was like one of the highest
of all time.
Like, viewed shows.
So going in knowing she's doing a True Detective series, I'm hoping that it's going to be way better.
I think she probably learned her lesson.
I think
HBO pulled the rug out from under her when she was writing for the show.
Agreed.
Because I think what it was supposed to be something akin to John Carpenter's The Thing. Because in the beginning, because when you watch the first episode,
it was horror.
Like and they were talking about like ice cores and stuff, you're thinking, oh, okay, so I know where this is going.
Exactly.
It's going to go into some like weird disease. And then
you and I both thought that for a long time. We're like, oh, there's some prehistoric bacteria causing hallucinations, which would have been really badass.
So I think with HBO saying, no, you're writing for True Detective.
Mm-hmm. So it has to have a reasonable...
The brand for True Detective.
Right.
But,
so she had to switch it up. Well, I'm looking forward to her going in knowing exactly what she's needing to do, and I'm hoping that it's better.
Yeah.
But I agree with you on that. Okay, and then the other thing was, on that same note, so Adam Sandler's got a new, I think it's a movie that just came out on Netflix called Spaceman.
I actually was going to check it out tonight.
You should check it out because I will not be. Because the alien that invades his spaceship is a giant spider.
Yes, it is.
That talks.
Yeah.
No. No.
Where would you? So you would say? Would you say that the most?
I can't get past it.
So, do you think the spider is your most feared creature of the animal kingdom?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. I can't think of anything else that strikes fear in me the way spiders do, and I don't really know why. Because I'll tell you this, Tyler. Here's an admittance that you probably can't believe, but it is 100% true. When my parents were going through a divorce, I was probably 9 or 10, and my dad had to sometimes take us after school to his business. He owned an auto shop.
Yeah.
And he owned the building. No, it was before that one. It was there was an original location.
Okay.
And he owned the building, he owned the lot, everything.
Yeah.
And that's very unusual nowadays. But back then he took advantage because we were from the Bay Area, we had all this money. So anyway, we would stay at his business. Now, this was in a rural part of town. And so he had a back, almost like a quote unquote backyard or a back area.
Just like a lot.
Kind of, but it was smaller. But he had extra lumber that he needed because he used to build extra rooms and shelves in his business. And all the extra remnants and stuff were in the back. So we could go back there. Now, I'm a Gen Xer. We weren't supervised ever. And we just wandered off and did whatever we wanted as long as we didn't leave the property, didn't get hit by a car, whatever.
Yeah.
So I would go back there all the time. And when I tell you that there were an inordinate amount of black widows,
my favorite spider.
Because this is an area that is just full of them. This is just this is where they are from. They're indigenous to this area of Sacramento. I would take them. I'd never pick them up, but I would grab them with something and put them in jars.
Oh,
and
I'd
watch
raise them?
No, I'd watch them fight, or I'd give them things to eat.
It was like a gladiator sort
I did
of
it
situation.
all the time. All the time. I messed with them constantly. Now, I didn't torture them. I don't do that.
Oh, well, of course not.
But
You're just doing what kids do.
Yeah. And so I'd put them in jars or, old peanut butter jars, whatever, and I'd watch and see what they would do. I'm sure I named a couple, whatever. But I wasn't afraid of them. I thought they were fascinating. Then I don't know when that changed. The only thing I can think of is if you believe in karma or if you believe in any kind of natural punishment, I lean towards native and indigenous spirituality now. And so I think
you're coming back as a spider.
I think I was punished somehow, that I have a deep-seated fear of arachnids because of my treatment of them as a child.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know.
That's an interesting take.
I can't remember when that changed, to be fair. I was bitten by a spider once in school.
Oh.
I was on the monkey bars, and it was back in the day when everything was metal.
Yeah.
And I was going across the monkey bars, and a little white spider, must have been bigger, bit my hand when I was going across the monkey bars because I paused because I have T-Rex arms. Not only did I get bitten by the spider, but when I jumped down, Jason Gibbons saw my chest because I was wearing a button-up shirt, and I was in like 3rd or 4th grade, and he goes, "You're flat as a pancake."
Like, I'm in 3rd grade. What do you expect, Gibbons?
To this day, I remember that, and I'm like, if he could only see me now. Piss me off. Yeah. I was so mad. But yeah, spider bite, and then offended. Then I got body shamed in 3rd grade.
Yeah. So it was the perfect storm to create arachnophobia.
And so from that day forward, I think I was just afraid of spiders.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
But now it's like this deep-seated fear. So when I saw that the alien was a spider, I'm like, are you kidding me? Of all the things. They choose a giant wolf spider that has a weird voice?
Because it has such a really intriguing premise to the film. And then you're just like, Christ, no, I can't watch it.
I just assume that it's a figment of his imagination, but I don't know. Oh. I mean, I assume that he's hallucinating because he's lost in space. I'm not sure, but I want you to watch it and you're going to tell me.
I will watch it.
I did see that Adam Sandler had to lose almost 30 pounds for this role.
What? Wow.
I didn't even know he had 30 pounds to lose.
He looks great.
He's a rail. Yeah. I thought, but I mean, who knows?
Maybe it's for the role. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, astronauts, they tend to be fit. So
would you ever do that? Would you ever go in space and be an astronaut?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
If you could do anything, what would you do?
Do anything?
If you could have any career and somebody just snapped their fingers and said, okay, this is you now, what would you do?
I think, well, I mean, the obvious answer is be a lighthouse keeper. Yeah.
All by yourself?
All by myself.
You want to be in solitude?
Yeah.
Can you have pets?
No, that's too harsh of a condition.
You can't even have like a lighthouse cat. There are lighthouse cats. They're normal. They rat.
Oh. Well,
you have to have them to rid yourself of vermin.
Yeah, well, I need a tomcat for that, though. You can't have a domesticated cat. So.
Oh, I bet you can. We should do some research, but I'm pretty sure you can have them.
I already did. They're all automated now for the most part. All you can
do is I'm not. I don't want you to be a lighthouse keeper. That's insane. That's insanity.
No.
I've seen lighthouses. We've toured them. Do you remember touring it?
I do. Yes.
And you felt like this was your home, and this is what you wanted to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it literally would be the perfect job for me because I would get to see the sea, and I would only have to work for like 3 months at a time, like just 3 months on, 3 months off. That's perfect.
You could be a teacher for that.
Well. That's true too. I would have to say though, my most feared creature would have to be.
And you can't say mankind. Don't be such a hippie.
Dang it!
You weren't gonna say that. What's your most feared animal or creature?
I was just leaning into the bit. I think it would have to be a mountain lion.
Really, mountain lion? Oh, I saw a video of a mountain lion running along the side of the road, not that far from here.
Yeah.
They are massive.
The reason why I'm so petrified by mountain lions is like they're very territorial and aggressive.
Yes.
Because you're never going to really run into like a bear or a tiger.
Not unless you're doing something dumb.
But a mountain lion is a lot more common, especially in the area that we reside in.
Yes.
And if you are like walking on a trail, like and even as close as like a riverbed that you can just ride your bike on.
Yeah, that's true.
If that mountain lion has cubs,
it's curtains.
Like you're gonna have to think on your feet. Like
they
can climb trees too, so like you can't
escape.
You can't escape.
You have to fight it.
You'd have to like jump in the frigid cold water.
Did I not read a story about a man who had to kill a mountain lion? Like he had to break its neck to get away. That's so sad too.
I mean,
but terrifying.
I think what he did was like he like shoved his arm down the throat of the mountain lion.
Can you imagine doing that? That scares me so much.
I couldn't imagine doing.
You would do it. Life or death, Tyler.
It's life or death, of course.
I would do anything to save a life.
I mean, you get fight or flight mode.
Yes.
Triggered. So yeah. So mountain lions, just because of how common they are, and then maybe bats in a house. Bats in a house. Now, you would think that's surprising because I do love bats. But if a bat is in the house, it probably has rabies.
Oh, so that is true, isn't it?
Yeah. So
do you know your grandmother got buzzed by a bat once?
Buzzed? What does that mean?
I was very, very young. I was probably 4 or 5, and I have
such an incredible.
I have a near photographic memory, and so I wouldn't say a fully photographic memory, but I do have a fairly
just regaling tales of your childhood.
Yes.
I don't even know what I was doing at 4 a.m. or not 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
But as a 4-year-old.
You were throwing a temper tantrum about having to clean your room.
Yeah, probably. Then I fell asleep on the pile of
toys on your hoard. So we were
like a dragon
on your treasures and your bones. Yeah. So we, my parents, before they were divorced, they had several couple friends. And so they did a lot of stuff together, as couple friends tend to do. And they all had kids and everything like that. And this was actually a houseboat trip that had a lot of adventures. But so we were on a houseboat, and it was at night, right around dusk. And a lot of people were fishing at night because you can catch certain kinds of fish. Yeah. And we were on Lake Shasta. Oh, okay. We were sitting at the top of the houseboat. It was dark, I remember. And I remember sitting next to my mom, and she was fishing. And all of a sudden, she starts screaming, and I thought it was because she caught a fish. It wasn't. There were bats flying above us.
Shrieks of panic.
Because they were eating mosquitoes and stuff. Yeah. You know, sonar, radar, whatever they do. And so I remember looking up and seeing a couple, and your grandmother started screaming as if she was being murdered. And my dad showed up, and he's like, "What is going on?" And she's like, "Bats, bats." And he starts laughing, of course. Yeah. And then I'm whisked away because she didn't want me to get bitten by any bat. Yeah. But we have them around here sometimes.
Oh, I know. I'm a fan of the bat variety, but if they're in the house, though, no, because if you get rabies, like sometimes bats bites, like you can't even feel them bite you.
Oh no! Go ahead.
I read a story on Reddit where
was it about the girl that got bitten and she didn't know?
Well, I think it was like an antidote or something of that nature, but someone compared, because I'm really afraid of rabies.
Oh yeah.
Like tetanus and rabies, like all those where like when you find out you have symptoms and it's already too late.
It's too late. Mm-hmm.
Then yeah. So they equated rabies being the most feared disease because you could just be taking a nap like in your tent. Mm-hmm. And then you won't even feel like a rabid bat like bite you, and it barely leave a mark. You would think like you got bit by a mosquito or something like that. And then
I think very quickly though your bite turns into something though.
It does not.
It doesn't?
No, because it varies. So sometimes like you could go like years with not knowing you have rabies, and then all of a sudden you like develop severe symptoms,
and no one knows what happened.
Well, they can test for it, but
yeah, but why would you ever think you had rabies? You wouldn't.
Exactly. That's why
you're like, I don't know what's wrong.
My body hurts, doc. I can't drink water. I don't know why.
I'm terrified of water now. What is happening to me?
So,
oh man.
But I mean, it varies with other people. But if you know you've been bitten, like if you suspect that you've been bitten by a rabid like animal, you have to immediately go to the ER.
Is it true they still give you 5 shots in the stomach? Remember that? That was such an urban legend for so long.
I don't know. I
know to do a series of treatment, but I don't know if they always like, don't ever get bitten by anything. You'll have to get shots in your stomach. And I'm like, that sounds awful.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I don't know if it's that
in severe, your stomach. There's nothing in there. There's nothing. How would you get anything in the bloodstream if you did shots in the stomach?
You know what? Stupid. That tracks. That makes sense. But I do know what I do know is the treatment for rabies. If you catch it early, like it's completely curable. Like,
yes, it's true. But once it gets in the brain, it's over. It's history. You're done. Done for. Done.
It's a 3-month treatment, and and there's only been like 7 people who've survived rabies. But that's because they had to basically induce a coma.
I did hear that they have to put you in a coma.
They call it the Manhattan treatment. Because it's like if you died during the coma, well, it's like at least you're not, like trying to like drink water and like, suffering from it.
I read a Reddit the other day. I'm still fully invested in Reddit. It's my favorite thing. I love it.
Oh, same here.
I'm so glad that we haven't crossed paths, by the way. Hopefully we don't. But no offense. It's a private matter.
Well, I mean, like,
it's a private matter.
I'm only commenting on like entertainment stuff and, putting my 2 cents in and whatever.
Do you troll?
No.
I don't either. Okay. Somebody called me a troll once and I laughed. I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, oh, my opinion's trolling. Okay, what else? But anyway, I'm actually far too nice on Reddit because I'm honest, Yeah. I'm like, why would you say that about a person? They're just trying to live their life. I'll say whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was an ask where it's like, if you've ever died before, what was the experience? Like, died and come back to life. And a lot of them were similar, which was really interesting. But the people like this, a couple of people were like, I didn't die, but I was put into a coma. And to me, that's far more fascinating.
Yeah.
They're like, one guy was in such a deep coma. He said, all I remember is I was like riding my bike. And the next thing I know, I woke up after being in a coma for months.
I know that's
and there's like, it was just black. Like I didn't remember any, I just completely like a snap of the fingers.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Mean, that's kind of like the way to go though too. Like you don't want to like,
I don't want to feel it or know anything.
Because like think about that guy riding his bike and then he just gets smacked and then he's like
God only knows what happened.
Like he's kind of conscious and like they have to put him in being put in a medically induced coma, but he's still like feeling like all of his body hurting.
Maybe, I don't know. But this one guy said he was put in a coma for something. He said it was a long, trippy dream. And
he was dreaming.
And I couldn't wake up. And I knew I couldn't wake up. And I was getting sick of dreaming. I remember vividly thinking, I'm so sick of being in this dream. Like, I want to wake up now, right? Yeah. He was kind of like bored with himself, which I found that to be very interesting. He goes, but it was like a really, like, it was almost like a shrooms or some kind of hallucinatory dream. How would you know that? That's what he said. I'm just telling you what he said. And then he woke up.
I thought you said, it was kind of like shrooms.
No, he said that, not me. I don't know. I've never done shrooms. I think I want to try ayahuasca, but I'm a little afraid.
So you're going to just go from 0 to 100 on the hallucinogenic scale?
I've just got to find a witch doctor apparently, or some kind of shaman.
Please, no.
I have to find a shaman in LA, and then I'm going to take ayahuasca.
No, you're not.
I'll be guided through so I don't see demons.
You will.
How do you know? Because have you done ayahuasca?
No. Well, I have known people who do it. You get incredibly sick.
First of all, I heard that there's vomiting and some diarrhea, possibly.
Yeah, and you want that? How is that an enjoyable experience?
I have read more than my share of experiences.
If you want to go down that path,
people who have done ayahuasca have cured themselves of depression and anxiety and their trauma. Yeah. And to me, that sounds wonderful.
Now they run MLMs for hippies.
Shut up. No, I'm not going to sell it to anybody.
No.
Actually, apparently the way to really do it is to go to like South America and get a real shaman and do it, but that terrifies me. I would never do that.
I would never go to South America.
Well, especially and then put yourself on drugs in the middle of a jungle or something. Oh no. I'm not that adventurous.
You don't want to do that.
I don't. I'm just saying I don't want to do it.
If you want to go down the hallucinogenic path, just stick to mushrooms.
I've never done shrooms.
Yeah, just do that.
I want to microdose.
I've heard it has really great health benefits.
You want to do it together?
No.
Why?
Because I'm done.
You're done?
Yeah, I'm retired.
You're retired from microdosing? You've never even microdosed. You don't even know.
No, I'm retired from any sort of hallucinogenic.
Oh, yeah. You had one bad trip, and now here we are.
I've had multiple bad trips, but
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I
would never listen. A mother trying to peer pressure my son into doing drugs.
No,
come on, Tyler, do drugs with your mother.
I don't even do tree anymore. So
just call me Mama June.
Mama June. Jesus Christ.
I would never. That's awful.
No, it is.
Speaking of, there was something that I was thinking about. Okay, so you're going to be a lighthouse keeper. I don't even know what I would want to be, to be fair. I don't even know. I'm so old now. I don't even care anymore. I just want to be independently wealthy and just do art.
I could see you being a firehouse watcher or
sitting up in the trees with spiders? No, thanks.
Oh, wait, yeah, I forgot.
I have no interest in doing anything foresty. I don't know what. I don't understand the appeal, frankly, of camping anyway, which everyone knows this about me. This is nothing new, but I don't get the appeal.
I slightly agree with you on that.
It smells really good, and I do love going for some time.
I just like going for a day, for a day.
Honestly, I told producer Dub this because he loves camping so much. And I said, listen, I will go to the mountains with you. I will do a lakeside anything as long as there's a cabin. I need a toilet. And I need a bathroom.
Would you settle for an outhouse?
No, I've done the outhouse thing. The last time I went camping.
You did.
Did you go with us when we went camping to Sly Park?
Probably not, no.
Okay, so we took Mackenzie. Oh, no, it wasn't you. You're right. We took the girls, and they got to bring friends, and we stayed. It was a beautiful campsite, and it was lakeside. It was beautiful. And as such, 2 a.m. rolls around and I have to pee like I've never had to pee before, which tends to happen when you're drinking a lot of beer or cocktails or whatever you're doing, you know, even water.
Yeah.
And I wake up and the outhouse, luckily we camped above an out or below an outhouse. So it was like right above us. There was just a path right there. But my biggest fear is people. Like, I'm not afraid of animals in the night. I'm more
of course you should be afraid.
Humans are way more dangerous than any animal you might come across. Well, I wouldn't go alone anyway. I made him come with me. But then I go.
You woke him to him. I have to make my water.
I have to go up to the outhouse. Oh, like he would go without me, please. You know that. Yeah, so he walks me up to the outhouse and he's standing out there. And now I have to pee in this giant cavernous toilet. Where you can barely even hear the pee hit the ground. It's so deep. Ugh. And I'm like, what if there are bugs or spiders or snakes like right under the lid? You know, and you don't want to put your flashlight on there because you don't want to see everything else. So you just have to quickly urinate as quickly as possible. And it was at that time, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm too old for this shit. I don't want to pee in an outhouse. I don't want to sleep in a tent. I don't care how beautiful it is in the morning. I don't want to do this.
It's cabin or nothing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or hotel. You know, I mean, I'll do a lakefront hotel. That'd be lovely.
Well, that would be lovely. I think
but a cabin is fine.
But
it smells good in a forest, though. I will admit.
I just like going for a day trip. That's all I need. That'll satiate my need to go out into nature. So,
what happened to your goal of living in a clearing with a dozen animals and having your own foresty, cabin-y home?
It's unaffordable. I mean,
if money wasn't an issue, you would do it, though, right?
I would take it into heavy consideration.
All right, there we go.
I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things. Like, if money wasn't a consideration, like, I'd probably just buy a house in our neighborhood and just kind of exist.
I just exist now.
I'm just like do my writing, you know.
That's that, huh?
Yeah. But as far as like getting a cabin and a clearing and stuff, that's unaffordable unless I have to go to like something like Wisconsin or Idaho.
Well, we're dreaming here. We're just dreaming.
I guess so. But
okay. So we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
But I'm going to ask you a couple of would you rathers.
Awesome. I love would you rather.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, here's the first one. Would you rather take a bite out of a live fish you just caught or take a bite of a live non-venomous snake?
I'm going to go with snake.
Really? You would take a bite out of a snake? They're so bony.
So are fish, but I'm not going to I don't know. It seemed like it'll be easier.
Yeah.
Not
okay.
Slippery.
This one I know exactly how I'd answer because it almost does. It's almost happening now.
Oh, okay.
Would you rather eat only insects for the rest of your life and live as you are now, or eat normally and have diarrhea every time? God, your butthole would be so raw after even one day.
You'd be so dehydrated too all the time.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
As much as I hate to admit it, yes, I would take the insects.
You know, a lot of people think that's a cuisine now. I mean, people all over the world eat bugs for protein because there's nothing else to eat.
Yeah, there is.
No, I can't even answer. That's disgusting. I'm not answering that one. I'm not even asking that one.
Okay.
Oh my God, no. No, I can't. Oh my God, this is so disgusting.
Okay, do that one then.
I don't know if I can do it. Okay. Would you rather pull your own thumbnail off with a fork or put a toothpick under your big toe and kick a wall? What, are you insane?
The toothpick one, definitely, for sure.
You would put a toothpick under your toe and kick a wall?
Yeah.
You would drive a toothpick under your toe?
It'll hurt, but it's going to hurt a lot less than pulling off your thumbnail with a fork.
That's so disgusting. I can't.
It's both going to hurt, but that one's going to be the less duration of pain.
Would you drink a gallon of mayo or a gallon of ketchup?
Oh.
Ketchup for sure. I'd throw up the mayonnaise immediately. I couldn't do it.
I'll just mix them together and I'll just do the both
2 gallons?
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Ew.
It's special sauce.
Would you rather smell like poo all the time but not be able to smell it yourself, or have your significant other smell like poop all the time and have to smell it all the time?
Oh.
Do you want to be with a smelly poop, or do you want to be the smelly poo?
Well, you know, you gotta take in consideration because, like, you know, you're gonna take this person to, you know, gatherings and out in public.
One would think.
And so,
although if they smelled like poop, I wouldn't.
Is the embarrassment of your significant other worth more than you just smelling like crap all the time? I think I'm gonna take myself smelling like crap.
You want to be the smelly pooper?
Yeah. I mean, like, because I can't deal with the secondhand embarrassment. Like,
you would rather be the embarrassment than the secondhand? Really?
Because I can take it.
That's interesting. That's an intriguing way to go.
I can't take that. Like,
First
come on,
of all,
imagine if I took someone back home and like you smelled her and you're just like, ugh. Like I would see your face and then
my face would be me holding my nose, going, Tyler, what the hell?
Yeah, you'd
be like, it's a condition. She played a game of Would You Rather, and this is what happened.
I've cursed her.
Sorry. Would you rather be extremely allergic to your favorite food or forced to eat your least favorite food once a week?
Oh, that's easy. Least favorite food once a week.
What is your least favorite food?
I
can't even think what mine is.
I can't think of it either. But I know that would be my choice. It would probably be something. Probably like.
I wouldn't. You know what? I don't like menudo. I hate it so much. I couldn't do it.
That's a good.
Tripe is just awful.
Yeah.
For me, it is. I couldn't do it.
No, I don't like it either.
Let's see. All right, we'll do one more.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to do that. That's mean. Because I know how you'd answer it anyway. This is stupid.
Okay.
Would you rather have to always hop around on one foot or always have to squat?
Like walk around, squat, like
yes.
walking around.
Yeah. Would you like to squat walk or hop?
I
would hop.
I would squat walk only because I really need like to use my feet. But
Accurate.
But
that's true.
It would be I would have to get a tricycle because
you would find a way to maneuver a tricycle.
Well, yeah, because you're squatting and like if you're in a tricycle, like, so I found the loophole. More mobile. Either that or I just have to get a wheelchair.
You know what? I will say I have a really hard time with these types of questions because I'm constantly thinking about the cheat codes. Like immediately trying to figure out how would I work around this or how would I work with it?
What's the loophole?
Yeah, because there's always one. Yeah. There has to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
I mean, with the insect one though, it's kind of like.
Well, the food thing, yeah.
Because if you're having diarrhea all the time, then like you're gonna have something like as big as your water bottle that's in front of you right now all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I suppose like there's medication for diarrhea.
Yeah, so would that be the loophole?
I guess so.
What a curse that would be when you could just eat chocolate covered butterflies.
You would have to.
There's a lot of bugs that are considered. Do you know there are bugs of the sea? We could have those.
True.
There's a lot of loopholes. I bet.
Well, yeah. Or
I don't want to do
either
it.
that, or you just have to apply for disability. Your Honor, I have constant diarrhea.
I can't do anything.
I literally can't.
Anal leakage, always. Always.
Well, it's been a great time. Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. And Tyler's show with his little cohort, not his little, sorry. You guys you're men.
Yes, we're men.
Your show is Middle Class Film Class. I love promoting it because if you like movies and you like to hear people dish about all kinds of takes, that's the show for you.
Yeah, you can check us out on anywhere where you find your podcast, and also we have a new video aspect to our show that a lot of podcasters have been doing. So
I feel triggered. Are you trying to pressure me?
No, I'm just saying the reality. Like a lot of people are doing the video thing. So check us out on YouTube at Middle Class Film Class, and also if you want to check out the show live, you can go on twitch.tv / capital letters MCFC podcast, and we stream every Saturday around 12. We try to stick to around 12
noonish.
Yeah,
noonish. Depending on when you roll in.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Noonish.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. All right, well, we will be back next week with a new show. Thanks for listening.
Yeah,
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.